Alright everybody, so today I want to talk to you about a game called Go Mecha Ball. It just launched on the Nintendo Switch. They were kind enough to send me a review copy, which I do appreciate. But yeah, this video is going to be a little bit different. How can I put this? We're going to tear into it a little bit because I've got a lot of problems. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I've got one massive problem with this game. So to catch you up, first of all, what is Go Mecha Ball? It is a twin-stick shooter with roguelite elements. So you know what that means pretty much already. Basically, it's going to be level by level. Once you die, you're all the way back to the beginning, but you are going to be collecting progressive upgrades as well as you do kind of advance through the experience, and you'll be unlocking more options that you can access then via the levels. The gameplay itself and the concept, I really like. It's basically, think, a really fast-paced spin on the genre. You can convert into a ball, hence the name, and roll all over the shop. It's kind of like, imagine Sonic, but he's wielding guns and blasting all sorts of mech creatures away in front of him. I really like the selection as well, actually. There's 25 different tools to use, loads of weapons, 50 different upgrades. You know, it's got a lot of the right ideas here. Also, the level design, lots of little like speed boosts, different ramps all over the place. You'll see me kind of flying all over the shop. That concept for the game is really fun in my opinion. Also, I thought that the gunpowder felt really good when you're taking down the enemies. And there's also a few different like mechanics packed in here. It actually comes with a really comprehensive tutorial level, which I do appreciate because it's definitely trying something different. But I'd say the main concept is not only are you shooting, but you can actually barge or bash into your opponents as well. Basically, if you do smash into them, it's going to cause them to, I guess, stall. It stuns them. What that means is they actually drop ammo for your guns, and you're going to need to get very good at that because it makes a huge difference. But these enemies, nice and varied. Boss encounter I did see, really unique. When you see them flash red, you kind of fly into them. That's going to stun them in the spot. And that seems to be the best way to win over any of these different battles in this world. The problem I've got, though, is, quite frankly, I don't think this game was ready for release on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not seeing too much coverage out there right now, hence I wanted to put this video together for you all. But I personally believe that the game is just, not ready. When you jump into the first level, it's pretty noticeable immediately there is a unlocked frame rate in this world. It doesn't feel bad, but then it loaded me into level 2 and it's just an absolute, well, quite honestly, it's a disaster. There's no other way of putting it. The frame rate, as you'll see on screen right now, I'll place it up for you all. I was getting somewhere between like 15 to 20-ish, and it looks like it's going bloody stop motion. There is no way in this genre you can have a frame rate that is so poor, because every hit you take, you're not auto regenerating health in this world, so every hit you take impacts how far you are going to get into your run. And every time I played, I seemed to stumble across this same level, and it wasn't just this individual location, even more and more were starting to pop up, and it seems to be attached to not only the level itself but the number of enemies on screen. And I just don't know how they could have looked at this game and said, you know what, this is ready for release, let's get it out there in the world. I did kind of delay this video a little bit as well, just so you know, if you're watching this in the future. The embargo for reviews was actually a few hours ago now. I wanted to give them time to see if there was some sort of, day one patch, essentially. I thought maybe this is something they've caught up on, this is what they're going to be fixing, and let's see if that happens. Because I want to give all of these developers, obviously, the benefit of the doubt. I don't do this so I can badmouth games. I don't want to put people down. I want to see, especially indie studios more than anybody, succeed in the games, in the world of games, because realistically, the industry's been struggling as it is. But yeah, this in my opinion is not how you go about it. It's actually, I don't know if it's been published by Super Rare Games, but they're doing a physical release, and I hope to God that they're going to be putting some effort into getting this into shape to where it needs to be, first of all, because quite honestly, I personally believe it is unplayable. It puts way too many obstacles in front of you that are not the core gameplay, it's the frame rate. And that's going to be really challenging when harder and harder enemies are going to be appearing, and they're going to be absolutely crushing you. Your health is being lost. And yeah, you're not going to regenerate that health unless you get a lucky pickup in between the run, because how it works is it seems to be you go through like 3 arenas initially, then you enter a shop area so you can collect any sort of items and sell any items you may have picked up, buy something you need, maybe a new weapon, a new gun. As I said, a lot of pickups in this world that I really do enjoy. Then you move on to a boss encounter. But you need to get lucky in this run right now of getting some sort of like expanding your health, and even then it doesn't recover the whole health bar, which puts you in a bit of a I guess for less of a better word, a bit of a predicament. I also noticed, to be honest, from my brief time with the game, I've spent about, call it an hour in its world, the gameplay is kind of repetitive compared to many in the genre. When you look at games like Hades, for example, or the heavy hitters, they're very good at changing the environment you're in. The core gameplay, of course, always remains the same. But visually, this one is kind of this neon-soaked world, but they're struggling a little bit, in my opinion, to really differentiate between the areas you'll be heading into. But yeah, outside of that, honestly, look, I think there's a really good idea in here. In fact, it released on, I think, Xbox, Steam, PlayStation maybe, quite a while back now. We got good reviews, generally high praise, and I did see that there was discussions that it had performance issues on those platforms, but it can't be anything like this because, quite frankly, there's no way any sort of publication would be giving this like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 in its current state. But yeah, I'm hoping they patch it in the future. I wanted to put this out there just to kind of give a warning. That's my main responsibility on this channel, quite honestly. It is first and foremost to put out truthful information about games and releases that I do see and make sure that I'm protecting your cash, protecting your purchases, making sure that you are going to be walking away with an experience you do enjoy. And I'm not going to let reviews from other platforms impact my own opinion, especially when the Nintendo Switch is, or let's face it, kind of becoming famous now for let's say the issues that it has as a system, just because it's an old system. It's struggling on a power front and developers are clearly struggling more and more. So yeah, overall, I can see why people enjoyed the game. I can see the positives. As I said, tons of pickups, tons of weapons, really unique control scheme that I've actually been enjoying when the game is running smoothly. But it's stumbling way too much as it currently stands. Even the enemies and the boss designs, I actually think they're quite good fun, and I've enjoyed taking them on again when the game works. But right now, I'm just paying with my health bar way too many times when it comes to like issues on the actual level itself. So yeah, I'd be very wary with this one. It packs a decent amount of content from the looks of things. There's actually 4 playable characters to unlock, each with different unique styles it promises, and it's definitely an interesting world. The story itself is a little kind of half-assed. It's something to do with enemies invading, and basically it seems like they've sucked all the happiness, I think, out of the world. It's this kind of like still image opening sequence just with text. The story's never going to be that big a focus, or say never going to be that big a focus. It's rarely a big focus in the genre, but yeah, Go Mecha Ball is a game that you should, if you want to play it on any other system right now, but do not part with your cash for this Nintendo Switch build. And I'd actually be very wary of the physical release as well. I'm a big advocate for super rare games. I want to put that out there because they typically get their games at the fastest over anyone. They've actually had some really good releases as well, so this pains me even more to say honestly. But as it stands, Go Mecha Ball cannot be recommended. In fact, I'm not even attaching a score today. I don't think it's barely playable if I had to say anything about it. So yeah, there it is, Go Mecha Ball, Nintendo Switch. Not good. Not good at all. So yeah, I know this was a little bit different, a little bit more, I guess, just kind of, I don't know, giving you my direct opinion without a script or anything else like I normally do. But I don't think in this case, no matter how much I build up, the story, the gameplay, the visuals, at the end of the day, it's not in a playable state. So I don't think any of that really matters. It needs to be in that perfectly functioning playable state initially. And I'm not saying locked 30 here or anything else. I'm just saying we need more than 15 to 20 frames per second. It can't look like stop motion. I don't know about you, but actually playing it, I found it a little bit nauseating. I don't know if you can see that from the footage. Again, I'm kind of focusing in here on those poorer performing levels. I'll kind of give you some inkling as well what it looks like when it's good performance, but they need to tidy it up. So yeah, Go Mecha Ball. Definitely disappointing. I wish I had better news as always to kind of report back to you all. But yeah, if you've played it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you think I'm being harsh, always enjoy hearing that as well. It is what it is, honestly. I take it seriously when it comes to protecting your purchases. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe as well. Appreciate it. Thanks all.